Welcome! Today we are doing r/Askreddit. From user ElectroIsland, they ask, what was the scariest we need to leave now gut feeling that you've ever experienced? Serious. From user Rough Salamander 7069, they reply, viewing to see a flat that didn't exist. Not my story, but my mom told me from her 20s when she was living and working in London, UK. I'll do my best to retell it. Also, I'm dyslexic, so apologies in advance for grammar. This story always gives me the creeps, though, when I think about it. So, back in her 20s, my mom was living in London and looking to move into a slightly bigger place. She found a really good price for a flat slightly out from the area she was hoping. She called the agent to book a viewing, and that's when things turned odd. So the guy booking the viewing started asking weird requesting questions, such as to bring her passport, her age, race, and physical appearance. Would she be coming on her own? Did she have a car? Would she be getting the bus? He was very persistent that she would arrive by bus as it would be easier for her. Explains it was a straight road down from the bus stop to the apartment block. Obviously, quite unnerved by this call, but still interested because the flat looked ideal. She and my dad were dating at the time, decided to check the exterior and surrounding area. The day before the viewing, they drove there. First, passing the bus stop, he was indicating for her to arrive via. From the bus stop, there was about 150, 200 meters of derelict wasteland that she would have to walk past to get to the flat. And standing at the end of the street in the location this apartment block should have been was a huge, abandoned building. Smashed broken windows, graffiti, no entry signs, the lot. Definitely nothing inhabitable in sight. Still, when she tells this today, you can see how much it rightly shook her. Of course, she didn't go to her viewing. However, she informed the police advising them of the planned time and place. From what she saw, from following up with them, they didn't appear to take this tip seriously, and little was done. A couple of years later, while in a pub with some friends, she gets chatting to a guy she just met through mutual friends that night. He was in the police, and through conversation, her story came up. He said that area at that time of her viewing had a huge human trafficking problem. Still gives me chills. Yeah, that sounds like a human trafficking place. Scary murder place. I don't know. Okay, from God Bullseye, they respond, after graduating undergrad, I was working as a caseworker for individuals with developmental disabilities and got assigned a new case for a young man who had autism and severe behavioral concerns. I met him at his grandmother's house since she had custody of him since his parents weren't around. I think the mom was in prison. I met this young man who was probably about 6 foot and weighing around 250 pounds, but had the developmental capacity of a 5-year-old child with a hairpin triggered temper. Never heard of that phrase before. Okay. The house he was living in was absolutely destroyed, and the only piece of furniture that was not smashed up was an oversized beanbag chair in the living room. Grandma gave up on trying to send the kid to school since he would absolutely destroy the place if he was forced to go. Grandma was no peach, but I felt for her and wanted to help. One of the meetings I was having with them, the kid and his grandma seemed especially tense, like pacing around the room and smacking the walls. After about an hour of trying to get stuff done and realizing that was not going to happen on this trip, it happens in this line of work, I decided to call it since the kid was becoming more and more agitated. The grandma was annoyed I would have to come back again, but we scheduled for a week or so out and left my business card with a reminder of the appointment. Sorry, I read ahead. Oh my god. I leave to go back to my home state after a few days, and when I get back, I get called into my supervisor's office. I guess the night I left, the kid had a complete breakdown and beat his grandmother to death. No one noticed until the kid came wandering outside after a day or two covered in blood. I probably missed everything by no less than 3 hours. Wow. That one definitely seems really freaking scary. Wow, I hope he gets the help that he needs. Because, my dear God. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Beat to death. I'm glad OP missed that, but R.I.P. that grandma. Wonder what happened to the kid. That's terrifying, honestly. Wow, okay. Silver City MTL responds, years ago when I was still living at home with the parents, I drove home around 2 a.m. As I parked my car, I noticed a man walking down the street. I decided to wait until he passed my car and was far enough for me to get out. However, instead, he passed my car and hid behind the van that was directly parked behind me.
Suspicious. Really suspicious.
I guess he didn't think I was paying attention to him, so I called my dad, who was asleep, to come down and get me. He did, and when the guy saw my dad, he immediately ran away. I was lucky. Yeah, that was really freaking smart. Like, it's important to be spatially aware. I know that I'm not always spatially aware. I need to be more spatially aware. In situations like these, yeah, there are some people that will try to, catch you, like right where you think that you're safe, right where like you're, right at home. Lucky for OP, their dad was able to wake up, and just with, the presence of another person, whatever that person's intentions were, they're like, not today. But to that little story, Kinvara Sarinth replies, reminds me of a night I was closing up at work in high school. I worked at a pool hall till midnight, 1 a.m.-ish on weekends. One winter night, I locked up and went to my car, which was parked next to the front door, started it, then got out and scraped off ice from the windows. As I was getting close to done, a guy walked around the side of the building, on the same side of the car as I was, passenger side. It was late and dark, and I don't normally see anyone, so I decided I was done scraping and walked around to the driver's side and got in and locked the door. I locked the door just as the guy passed the driver's seat rear bumper. He then slowed down a little, and a second guy came around the corner from the same direction. He waited for guy number 2, and then they walked off together. Spooked me right out. Ooh, that's scary. Yeah, it's like, even if, like, nothing actually happens, or nothing would have actually happened, it's so scary to not even know the possibility of what they wanted. Could have been, human traffickers. Could have been, like, robbers, like someone trying to, rob their car, or murderers. We don't know. Last one for today will be, let's make it a little short. Nicole replies, I bartended years ago. I kicked this guy out because he was acting very strange, muttering under his breath that he would kill my other customers. Just really hostile. Whoa, okay. He had missing fingers on one hand, and he was kind of a bigger guy. After bar closed, I almost finished counting money, so like an hour after everyone left, I was just about to leave, and I had that gut feeling. I looked out one of the windows, and that guy was just standing on the corner watching me in a ski mask. I knew it was him because of the build. As soon as I grabbed my phone, he took off, but the cops knows who he is. Now he has a vendetta out against me, and he's well known around the town. He's freaking nuts. Alright, that's all for today. Like, subscribe, and I'm glad you stayed. Bye! Despite it being... Sorry, there's a bug. Once I get this bug out of my life... Got it. Hopefully. Probably not. Oh, I have no idea whether or not I got that. Okay. Back to it. Okay. Bloopers? Okay.